So the other day I talked about the iPhone 8 and whether that specific device could actually end up getting iOS 17. Now iOS 17 is going to be the next official version of software. We're already on iOS 16, and personally I think iOS 16 was a good update for the most part, but the big thing they did here, which was a massive, hurt, it hurt me like crazy, heartbreak I think is the good word to say, is they pretty much discontinued and unsupported two different sets of iPhones at the same time. Well, actually three. The first generation iPhone SE, the iPhone 6S, and the iPhone SE 7 actually. The iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. Now, I feel like personally the 7 and 7 Plus could have easily supported the next generation of software, meaning iOS 16, and because of that in a way is probably going to help the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus and iPhone 10 series. Now, the reason I say that is because historically, Apple hasn't really dropped like two different iPhones at the same time or like back-to-back years. So for the last like two generations, they've been doing it two at a time. The iPhone 5S and the iPhone 6, and then the iPhone, 6S and the iPhone 7. But if we rewind back with the iPhone 5, they didn't unsupport the iPhone 5S until like 2 years after the iPhone 5 got discontinued. So I don't think, since the iPhone 5, Apple hasn't discontinued an iPhone back-to-back. So I think that's one thing to keep in mind. That is a reason why I personally think the iPhone 10 is easily going to support iOS 17. That and also because the iPhone 10 is pretty much still a very, good performing phone. Apple's trying their best to basically just, to slow this phone down, I think, and personally not give it certain features when it easily could support them. Even that Face ID thing that happened last year with Face ID replacement, they found out they can do it without replacing the whole screen or something, and they didn't give it to the iPhone 10 when they easily could have. It's almost like they do things where you don't want to believe that is like planned obsolescence, but you really have no other choice but to think that. So personally, as long as Apple doesn't do anything weird, I personally do think that iOS 17 is probably going to end up coming out for the iPhone 10. It makes the most amount of sense. And even if you rewind back to 2017, and I mentioned this in 2017 as well when we first got the iPhone 10s, I was saying that because this device, it didn't actually start off with iOS 11, which at the time, typically all iPhones that were being sold, came out with the first version of software or something. The iPhone 10 came out in like November or October. It was like a month and a half after the iPhone 8s came out. So because of that, I personally felt this phone didn't get the full version of iOS 11, so it would easily get the last as long as the next generation, which still might be true. So since then, we kind of know that Apple has a staggered approach with most iPhones nowadays, but at that time, it wasn't very common. So I guess we're going to see what happens in the future. But personally, I can pretty much almost guarantee, in my opinion at least, the iPhone 10 is probably going to end up getting iOS 17. So that kind of covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.